I've been writing copy for over 26 years. I've sold over $50 million worth of my own products and services alone, and over 80,000 business owners and counting have paid me over the years for marketing advice. And you know what their biggest challenge always is? It's copy. But it's not just what to say, it's the hook, the big idea, the right angle. Once you find that, writing your sales copy and everything else becomes a lot easier. So right now, we're going to use AI to find your hook and write your copy in less than 10 minutes without even typing. And I know what you might be thinking, AI copy is terrible, I understand, but if you do it right, and if you use the right AI, it's freaking awesome. So there's kind of a trick to it. The first step is you just want to tell AI everything you can about whatever it is you're selling. I call this a brain dump. So for the sake of making this really easy, I'm just gonna pretend like we're gonna sell this video that's on YouTube. So let's just imagine that we need to find the big idea to make this video something that we can write sales copy about. So I could watch the video to get all the cool information about it, but that's like gonna take forever. Therefore, the easiest thing to do is just to copy the transcripts and get AI to figure all that stuff out. Now, the best tool for writing copy with AI, period, is this tool called ojoy.ai, and specifically inside of it, there's something called Project Shepherd. And here's what I'm gonna do. I'll just paste the old transcript there and hit go. And I'll let you in on a little secret. If you use AI that lets you talk to it, instead of having to like actually write prompts, it makes everything 1,000 times easier, because when we're typing, our brains self-edit what we're doing, and it's like, oh, does this sound right, and all that kind of stuff, and that's what makes it not fun. And the results here are pretty cool. It basically accepted all of the brain dump, and now it's making some sense of it. But we're not going to stop there. We want to find the big idea, the big angle. So a really cool way to do it is to have it just make a list of every single cool thing and every single angle. So I'll just ask it. Oh my God, dude, it's 510 different unique cool benefits. I don't want to read all 510 of these. You don't have time for that either, but we want to have the big idea and the cool hook. If we were going to try to sell it, we would probably position it as, here's how to sell a bunch of books. Now, if I were to sell this as a video that teaches people specifically how to sell a lot of books, what would the big idea be? Give me 3 or 4 examples of the coolest big ideas and the coolest hooks that you can think of. Check this out. Look at this. It actually tells us a hook to use. One word in the subtitle, change sales by 71%. Here's the word. Now that really grabs your attention, but I think there's something that could be even cooler. It says right here, one sold 500,000 plus copies. I want to know how much money it made selling the book, because that would really tie into the big idea and the angle very, very well. So this is an older video, and the video itself doesn't say exactly how many books were sold. So why don't we do the unthinkable and find out? Here in Ojoy, we have this tool called Project Papillon, and it's kind of like Claude, but on steroids. But check this out. So this dude named Alex Hormozi wrote a book called $100 Million Leads, and it made a lot of money, and I need to know more details about that. Oh my God, man, it's $22 to $24 million. And here's what's awesome is Joy will like show you the actual sources of where it gets its data from. And here it is right here in Amazon. So that's crazy. My man sold 800,000 copies and counting, and we'll use the smaller number here. Only 22 million bucks, loser. I'm kidding, obviously, but whatever. And we'll now take that, and I'm gonna give it to Project Shepherd, and I'll go. All right, so it turns out that $100 million leads brought in $22,392,000 since it was written. What is our big idea around that? And it found a bunch of them, but dude, this one's pretty solid, which is this one word hook. So that is really fascinating. In the interview, he talks about split testing and how he changed one word and it made sales go up. That's kind of the big marketing angle idea that we can take, our main hook, but how do we turn that into copy? So check this out. Okay, cool. So what I want to do is write a sales letter that sells this video. I want you to give me an outline of what it would be like. And let's say we're going to sell it for 27 bucks. Sweet. So now we have like a solid outline. I don't care how it's worded. We can make that sound fancy in a minute. I'm just going to tell it to write in the rough draft for us. Dude, I went ahead and put it in Google Docs just so you can kind of see it better. A full-on 12-page long-form sales letter for us. But this is just a rough draft. We haven't really given it any guidance yet, but you can see it's solid. But let's make it sound cool, shall we? So I'm going to open up a new chat, and I'm going to give it this rough draft first. And here's like the trick. We can make it sound like me or make it sound like whoever we want just by giving it some writing samples. But let's be like really cool and make it super awesome. So this is our headline here. All right, so I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to say, I need 10 more headlines, but I want them to be even more curiosity driven and more over the top, just like be really hardcore direct response. What we're doing is when we make it come up with like really hardcore direct response headlines, we can then tell it to rewrite the rest of the letter to match the style and tone of the headline, and it'll completely change everything and like turn it into a real like gangster level sales letter. And here we have it, number 4. There it is. I like it. I think that one's killer. And here's what we're gonna do now. So we're gonna make this rough draft better by making the body copy sound more like the headline and go along more with that theme. All right, so I like headline number 4. Use that exact headline, and then I want you to rewrite just the first like paragraph or so of the letter to match this aggressive style and tone that you've been using in all of these headlines, but don't make anything up. Okay, so now it's like way better copy. And what we want to do now is we also want to make our subheadlines 1,000 times cooler. So I'm just gonna tell it to do that. Boom, man, dude, nice. Here's how it looks. I went ahead and put it in a Google Doc so you can see it better. This is a full-on 13-page sales letter. So what we did without typing, by the way, is we just randomly took a video transcript, found the big idea, the big hook, and then built an entire sales letter around that one big idea to sell this video. And we did it all with AI. So AI can write you unbelievably cool copy and do amazing things if you just use it right and you use the right AI. Speaking of which, if you want to use Ojoy, you can try it for free at ojoy.ai. Pretty freaking cool. So get out there, write some good stuff, find some big ideas and some cool hooks, and sell a lot of things and have fun. And thanks for checking this out. Take it easy.